Hi, my friends. How you doing? I'm Sean Thomas coming to you live from Germany, where we will be introducing to you the location of the International GS Trophy 2024. I know many of you have already joined us today. It's very good to have you here. If you have questions, if you have comments, we'd love to see them. So please keep them coming. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and where you think we're going to go. We would love to hear it. Before we get into that, though, I have a couple people here that are going to help me tell you about the next trophy. First, Dr. Ralph Rodepetter. Ralph, how you doing?
Hey, Sean. Good to have you here and good to be here.
It's good to see you again, man. I'm so glad you're here with us. And of course, Stephanie Grun. Steffi, how you doing?
Hi, Sean. I'm happy to be here.
Very excited to have you here as well. Now, we would like to talk to you a little bit about what you can expect from the International GS Trophy 2024. Steffi, before we get into that, you've been part of the trophy for quite a long time. Can you tell us a little bit about your past experiences?
Yes, of course. Well, I started with the International GS Trophy in 2010 and then 2012, 2014. And at the very beginning, I took care of the logistics, means the material, the transport, the bikes. And I was part of the team who organized the special stages. And since I've been organizing another big event in the last 20 years, I was not part of the team in Thailand and not part of the team in Mongolia, but came back into the game in New Zealand. And I once again supported my colleagues with all the logistics topics. Albania was the very first GS Trophy when I became the main project manager. And I was so happy about it, as this event is very, very special for me, mainly because the whole team involved is like a big family and is always giving the very best to make it a wonderful experience for everyone.
Stephen Purvis says you are a legend, and I absolutely agree with you. Thank you for that comment. Now, Steffi, I know you've been planning this for quite a while. Can you give us a small hint as to the location of the International GS Trophy 2024?
Well, Sean, I can tell you that we're going once again to the Southern Hemisphere.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Southern Hemisphere. We've now cut it in half. We're narrowing down a little at a time. Next up, Dr. Ralph Rodepetter. Ralph, now you have been part of the International GS Trophy for quite a while. Can you tell us a little bit about your history with the trophy?
Yeah, not as long as Steffi's, but quite long. It was in 2012 when I first met Steffi in Chile in Argentina, and I was riding the first trophy in 2012 on a veteran bike, on an R80 G/S. The first regular one was in 2014 under my responsibility in Canada, 16 in Thailand, 18 in Mongolia, 20 in New Zealand, and last year finally in Europe in Albania. Yeah,
That's a really good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that was so far the best, but there's another one to come, and there we want to try again to be the best trophy ever.
Excellent.
Well, thanks a lot for the pressure.
So, can you give us a small hint as to the location of the International GS Trophy 2024?
Of course, I will. The country that we are going to is not only beautiful, but it has a very, very long coastline.
Okay, so Southern Hemisphere and a very long coastline. We are narrowing it down even further. Of course, the GS Trophy has quite a history associated with it. Over the past 14 years, it has taken place in remote locations and in every rideable continent. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the first trophy in 2008 was in Africa, in Tunisia. Also in 2010, we've been in Africa, in South Africa. 2012 in South America, in Chile, Argentina. 2014, North America, in Canada. 2016, we've been in Asia for the first time, in Thailand. Then Mongolia, as said before, in 2018, New Zealand in 2020, and finally in Europe in 2022. So we have been on all continents where you can ride a bike. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there's been team members who have participated in the GS Trophy from over 30 countries in the past 14 years. And when people come to the GS Trophy, they come to compete. They're there because they are very, very good riders. They have proven that, and they want to represent their country and demonstrate pride in their country by coming and showing us how they can ride. But as we have learned time and time again, the GS Trophy is so much more than riding. It's also about meeting new and wonderful people. It's about experiencing different cultures. It's about camaraderie. It's about having experiences and meeting people and trying new things and really having the experience of a lifetime. And that, to me, is really what the trophy is all about. Competition's fun. It is good. And we are, of course, there for the trophy. We're there to compete, but we're there for all of those other things. And you may experience that in 2024 as well. Now, I think we've made everybody wait long enough. Yeah? So you can see we have flags here from all of our previous international GS trophies. It is time to reveal the flag and the location for the 2024 International GS Trophy. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And so it is time to go back to the continent where it all started. So we are back in Africa. And the next trophy, 2024, International GS Trophy 2024, will be in... We are going to Namibia. Hey, Steffi, the flag.
The flag gets officially added to the post. My friends, we are going to Namibia. This is a place that I've personally never been. Now, Steffi, I know you have already been in the planning process and have been to Namibia and started to scout the locations for the International GS Trophy 2024. Can you tell us a little bit about what people can expect when they go?
Of course. Well, I think it's not a surprise if I tell you to expect a lot of sand. White sand, brown sand, red sand, loose stuff, hard packed, and then we'll add some gravel mountain passes to it. And we will be partly staying on a very high altitude. That means the days are very warm and the nights are quite cold. But we will be awarded with a wonderful sky full of stars during the night. And if you're lucky, you will be able to see a lot of game in some of the areas. There are a lot of wild roaming animals, even the big five might be possible. All the people we met have been super, super friendly. We had that one situation with a puncture, and suddenly out of the nowhere, locals appeared with tools ready to help us to get us going again. That was so, so nice.
That's fantastic. And this is what I love so much about traveling around the world, is that people are good. Everywhere you go in the world, people are there. They're there to help you, to take care of you. And I'm looking forward to experiencing this in Namibia. Very, very special. Now, Ralph, of course, it's very exciting to be going back to the continent where it all started. Can you tell us how the International GS Trophy may be a little different this time around?
Absolutely. I think Namibia is not only on my bucket list to ride a bike there, but it will be a technical, very hard GS trophy. I think after Albania, which was really challenging, we will put even one brick on it. Riding in the sand, I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Riding in the sand can be really hard, and there's a lot of sand. But we are also searching for everyday different sceneries. We want to have pictures from one day to the other that are totally different. And I think Namibia gives the opportunity to really show very, very different landscapes. And of course, it will be great riding there in Namibia. Definitely.
Excellent stuff. I can't wait to ride it myself with some of you as we go. Now, Steffi, we now know where the International GS Trophy 2024 will be. Can you tell us when in 2024 it will be?
Well, you know, of course, we're still in the organizational phase, but yeah, we will release the specific dates as soon as we can. But for those of you that will try and join the International GS Trophy 2024 in Namibia, it's good to plan to be there in springtime. So, and I mean, all of you know that springtime on the southern hemisphere in Namibia means it's autumn on the northern hemisphere. So please don't get confused with the timing.
All right. So in Namibia, in 2024 in the springtime for Namibia. So
In the springtime of Namibia, yeah.
of course, so we'll be giving you more details as they become available, so stay tuned for that. Now we've given you an idea of where it will be. We're going to give you an idea now of how you can get there. And this year, there are some new elements happening, something called the International GS Trophy Qualifier. And this is something that we've never seen before. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Steffi?
Well, yeah, you see, in the past, many GS owners of various countries around the globe contacted us, being a little bit disappointed because their country did not organize a local qualifier. So they never had the chance to join the International GS Trophy. We thought we want to give all those people who are not a resident of one of the national qualifier countries a chance to enter the competition. That's why we came up with the idea of an international qualifier. Actually, this year's qualifier, international qualifier, will take place before and during the BMW Motorrad Days 2023 near Berlin. And as for all qualifiers worldwide, of course, we'll have a separate ranking for men and women. And if you want to register for it, you can do that starting beginning of March, and we'll provide a link at the registration a link to the registration webpage for the qualifier at thegstrophy.com.
Excellent. So those of you that live in a country that doesn't necessarily have an International GS Trophy representation, now you have a chance. If you come and see us in Berlin during Motorrad Days in July, I think it is.
In July, yes.
Yeah.
And we'll have 150 slots available, actually. And the ones who book first will get one of the slots.
Excellent. So more details of that are coming soon. And of course, we will be sharing with you how to find those details. That is also coming soon. Now, hey, I'm glad that Luis says excellent. This is a great location. Very, very happy for the feedback, everybody. Thank you very, very much. Now, as the International GS Trophy has evolved, so have the number and types of teams. For the first time last year, women's team were representative of their countries and were chosen side by side with the men's teams. After they had been chosen, the top scoring women's teams went on to the final event in Albania. But we're going to change that up a little bit. And this is exciting stuff. Steffi, can you tell us a little bit about how we're going to do the women's teams this time?
Well, last year, many countries called us that they wanted to show the final stage on social media and share the experience of the competitors together with you, with the community. But as we wanted to keep the secret of the winning female teams until the very end, this was unfortunately not possible. Now we want to give all countries the option to show the final stage. And so we went back to the idea to have an international female qualifier beginning of 2024 to choose the best 6 female teams. And you know the second good thing about it? The second good thing about it is that all female teams will now have their last competition on the same terrain and under the same weather conditions. And that means it's even more comparable than before.
Yeah, this is good stuff. And you've heard it here first. For those of you ladies that are planning on trying out for the International GS Trophy 2024, those of you that win representing your countries will be shuttled off to a new final location for a final qualifier where the top 6 teams will be chosen. I think that's going to happen somewhere in Europe. We'll bring them, yeah?
It will be somewhere in Southern Europe, yes.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Now, that means we're going to have 16 men's teams and 6 women's teams who will be going to Namibia for the adventure of a lifetime. Ralph, can you help us understand who is eligible to participate in the International GS Trophy 2024?
Go, girls, go. Did you see the comment? Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we have a lot of countries with us. So there will be the US, Mexico, Latin America. So that is Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Peru, Panama, El Salvador. And then we go to Brazil. Then we go to Europe with Germany, France, UK. Italy is back for the first time. Benelux, so with Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. South Africa will be there, winning the last couple of trophies, actually. Then we go to the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, Pakistan, Lebanon, and Jordania. And then going to Asian countries with us will be India, China, South Korea, and Japan. So these are the countries that we will meet in Namibia in 2024.
Excellent.
Well, and of course, everybody else can apply for the international qualifier. So all countries actually worldwide get a chance to join the final event in Namibia.
Good stuff. Now, Ralph, one more question. For somebody that has been to many international GS trophies, this is the question that I get more than any other. What should people do to prepare themselves for the International GS Trophy qualifier and the final event?
Yeah, of course, you have to be a very, very good off-road rider, of course. But this is not a race. It is not about speed. It is more about control of your bike. It is about controlling, balancing the bike, control the clutch, the throttle control, and braking, of course, also is very, very important, I think. So over the years, it became more and more heavy and difficult to the terrain we are choosing, and now Namibia again with riding on sand, which is really a challenge. So it is a control of your bike, definitely. It is not a race, it is not about speed, even if some of the challenges may be for speed, for time, but in the general riding the GS Trophy, you have to be really a very, very good off-road rider.
Yes. This has been my experience as well, is the basic techniques. Clutch control, throttle control, braking, and balance. You know, if you master those techniques, it'll take you there.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is. And it is a jazz, of course. The bike takes you there.
I kind of want to start practicing right now. Just so I can ride and watch everybody. Well, my friends, we're about to wrap things up. I just want to take an opportunity to thank everybody who has reached out to us and said many, many kind things to us. We would like to take an opportunity to answer any questions or hear any comments from the community. If there's anything you'd like to say to us here live in Munich, in Germany, we'd love to hear it. So the first question that we're seeing is from Nicholas Vaston, and the question is, can previous international GS Trophy riders qualify at the international qualifiers in Berlin? Ooh, you knew that question was going to come.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm afraid that none of the former participants of the international GS Trophy is or can go for the GS Trophy again. So no, unfortunately, this is not possible.
It is a once in a lifetime
thing,
and it should stay a once in a lifetime thing. Yeah.
I should take this opportunity to point out and congratulate all of the marshals who have been part of the International GS Trophy, because they were, almost all of them were former competitors who found a way to come back to the trophy and help out. And we appreciate everything that you all do. Thank you very, very much for that. Those are some of the lifeblood of the International GS Trophy, aside from the two of you, of course.
Yeah, there are two persons that are taking part in more than one trophy. That is Seppi and me.
Yeah. All right, the next question is from Paula Benker. The question is, when are the BMW Motorrad days in Berlin? I think we do have pretty close exact dates.
Yeah, the Motorrad days are always at the first full weekend in July. So that will be this year from the 7th to the 9th of July in Berlin. We are celebrating 100 years of BMW Motorrad with the Motorrad days. So everybody's invited, and I would be more than happy to see you all there, as many people as possible getting there and celebrate the 100th anniversary of BMW Motorrad. And of course, participating in the international qualifier there.
And as this question might arise as well, the international qualifier, which is taking place during the BMW Motorrad days, and I said it a bit before, will be from Thursday to Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So. Okay, Thursday to Saturday during the same week as the Motorrad Days event and Pure Crafted in Berlin. So good times. This is when we will see you there, and this is where we will celebrate with you. We'll have some good times together. I have another question from Franzi Fee. The question is, which GS can you ride at the GS Trophy? I assume you mean the GS Trophy qualifier. Of course, we probably don't know what we're going to ride at the trophy yet. Yeah?
Yeah, in a qualifier you can ride any GS, any BMW Motorrad GS, of course. So it is regardless the Boxer GS, the 2-cylinder, 1-cylinder, whatever you have, but it has to be a GS.
Yep.
The GS that we will ride 2024, I can't tell you now, but that will be the next surprise. We are figuring out the perfect bike for that terrain, as it is a perfect bike for a lot of terrains.
I think all of the people have to wait until next summer, actually. So, yeah, we will tell you. I think we will tell you next summer.
Can I be here for
Next
that?
summer, next year's summer, not this year's summer, sorry.
If you need help going to Namibia and riding the bikes to see which one is best, I'm happy to go. Happy to come and help.
Yeah, we have to do some scouting. Let's see.
Thank you, my friends, for the questions. We're very, very grateful to have them from you. I have another question from Axel Welter. How can I become a GS Marshal? Ooh, that is a very interesting process. I know many people have asked me this question in the past.
Yeah, many people asked us these questions, and what I can tell you is that you, of course, need to have a lot of experience in touring off-road with customers. That is the one thing. The second thing is you need to have the International Instructor Academy, and you need to be also an international tour guide. So you need to do also the International Tour Guide Academy. And then in the end, I mean, we are choosing, actually our sports agency is choosing the marshals. And it means they are choosing people from a lot of different countries in the world to have representatives for all the countries worldwide on the GS Trophy as a marshal. So we still have quite a few marshals from Germany, but for sure we are looking for marshals from other countries around the globe. Yeah.
Now, I have been an instructor for 10 years, and I went to the International Instructors Academy for both on-road and off-road, and it is intense riding. They expect a lot of you, which is understandable because you have a lot of responsibility as a marshal. And this is why we hold them so closely and so much appreciate what they do. Yeah. So it's very, very good. Excellent question. Thank you very much. I think we have another question from Oscar. The question is, what are the riders' requirements to participate at the qualifiers? Ooh, there are several. Then we're going to list those out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think every qualifier is going to list them on their registration webpage. And so what we'll do once the registration is open in the different qualifier countries, we will link them through our gstrophy.com. So you will find links to your local qualifier registration web pages once they are available. I think that's the easiest way to explain that.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot of rules. They're very reasonable rules, but when you go to, we'll tell you a little bit about how to find those and join us because we want to have you there. I see a question from Sophia. The question is, BMW for the international qualifying, can I go alone or does it have to be as a team? Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, actually, what we ask the qualifier hosts is that the competition is scored for each individual, so not for a team. Yeah. So you do not apply as a team, you do apply as an individual. Yeah,
and when you win, you win along with someone else that you may not know, and then you become the team, and this is the first opportunity you have to meet and connect with a different person.
It's the first challenge, really. It's the first topic is to become a team after the qualifier, because we have seen in the past that only if you are competing as a team, you have any chance to be in the upper scales or the winnings. Others, no chance if you're not really teamwork. It's so much teamwork in the challenges in an international trophy, so you will not manage it without having a real good team spirit in there.
Many of them met before to train, and they have seen each other several times during the year, doing other challenges, doing a training, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, they really grow together once training for the final event in Namibia.
We see this time and time again. Being a great rider is not enough.
Definitely not.
You have to work as a team in order to make it and find yourself at the top. And this is being seen over and over again, and this is what you will experience. I think you'll find this is one of the best parts, is connecting with, working together with people. It's really special stuff. Now, this is from OC853, the question, and I would like to know this too. When will the new GS be out?
is there a new GS? Do we need a new GS? This one is beautiful.
Yeah, it's true. And I say this every time they come out with a new GS. I go, you know, it's perfect. They don't need to change anything.
Yeah.
And
Until you have written the new GS. Sorry, I can't tell you, but we will tell you within the next months.
whoa, okay. And in the next months, he said
We'll
plural.
tell you when it is out.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That was a very good question. And thank you for asking that. I wanted to ask that myself, so I appreciate you pointing that out to us. Well, my friends, there you have it. We've had many questions. We've learned a lot about the International GS Trophy 2024 in Namibia in the summer months. We've got a lot of preparation to do. Ralph, I want to thank you so much for talking with us.
Sean, thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. And Steffi, thank you very much.
Sean, thank you.
All right, my friends, there you have it. More information is coming soon. There is so much to share with you. You can go to Motorrad, BMW Motorrad on Facebook and on Instagram. And for more in-depth information, you can go to gstrophy.com. We'll have more updates for you on the way, so stick with us throughout the coming months. Until then, we'll see you soon. Rock on.